before we start, I will tell you a few words about me, so you can be aware what am I doing in my life and what I can help you with. Some of you may know me from the previous classes, but I guess most of you probably don't. So I will introduce myself in few words. Well, I do a lot of things in my life. I work in Polish National Opera as a video engineer, where I am responsible of all the video setups with projection mapping or live camera captures with the in all the performances. And I also work in the premium PR agency as I don't know how to say it, creative designer. I do a lot of graphic design for the creative PR packaging and social media channels for our clients, and a lot of experimental stuff. And around 1 year ago, I started to play with Instagram filters. I made a few ones, for example, for Digital Cultures Conference on last year, and for example, for the Levi's, for the Spring-Summer collection, upcoming collection of this year. And it seems like pandemic world conditions are perfect to play with that kind of stuff. With this digital world, because a lot of people, a lot of clients are sending requests to do that kind of filters. So I guess it's going to be more popular on the next months. So yeah, so I think this is a perfect tool not only to have fun with, but also it's a perfect as a digital marketing tool to enrich the social media channels and show something that regular photos and videos can't show, obviously. So that's why I decided to teach you this, because I think that would be really cool to have that skill to design your own filter. I think that the next 4 or 5 days will not be only a fun, but also a very practical skill to use in the future in your commercial works. But yeah, but I think that workshop won't be really serious. I think that might be really fun. So, so yeah, I hope so. I want everybody to finish at least one filter this week, but it's not really complicated. So I hope we will make more. Like maybe one person can make 2 or even 3. Everything depends on your ideas, of course. All right, so presentation. I promise a really quick presentation about the definition, possibilities, even if you perfectly know what possibilities have Instagram, but also a few words about the technical requirements and the policies, because some of them are really important. And for those who don't know, Instagram was bought by Facebook last year or 2 years, I don't remember exactly. So everything what is happening on Instagram needs to be uploaded to Facebook server. And every filter we are uploading on the Facebook. Later, when we will have something done, I will show you everything exactly. For now, it's not important. And every filter needs to be reviewed and accepted by Facebook crew. So we can't just upload everything we want endlessly. So that's why I think that few words of introduction are necessary. So yeah, a very quick definition. Obviously, augmented reality is an interactive experience of a real-world environment where the objects that reside in the real world are enhanced by computer-generated perceptual information. And AR can be defined as a system that fulfills three basic features: a combination of real and virtual worlds, real-time interaction, and accurate 3D registration of virtual and real objects. Augmented reality is related to largely Sulamu's term, mixed reality, which is the merging of real and virtual worlds to produce new environments and visualization where physical and digital objects coexist and interacts in real time. And this is kind of wider term than augmented reality. Mixed reality is related to a lot of tools and practical applications, such as, I don't know, kind of trainings and simulations. For example, even for the military, online teaching, and entertainment. So AR is kind of more narrow piece of this term. All right, the development. AR needs to have interaction designed, and obviously its graphic and its visual representation. Of course, we need to be aware of and design wisely our AR and keep in mind those two basic elements that coexist together. And obviously it's kind of interaction and its visual representation. All right, so the purpose of interaction design is to avoid confusing the user by organizing the information which is presented. I mean, in interaction, a designer must make system controls easier to understand and accessible by the user. So the information must be clear. And of course, the visual side, the appearance of the developing application should engage the user. By this, I mean elements that are interacting with the user, like some kind of face-changing effects, objects linked to the body or the head, some buttons and pickers and everything we have in our interface. Everything should be clear, and intention also should be readable. So here we have some few possibilities of implementation. Of course, AR can be also very professional, high-tech tool for example, for military. But in the case of Instagram, that few possibilities below are most popular, and I think that will be way more popular this year and next year. So I think the Instagram filters are the really nice tool for the commercial use, for the art, for the museums and education. Even the archaeology, architecture and literature, industrial design, tourism and sightseeing. I think this underrated. There are supposed to be way more filters for the tourism, and I hope they will be developing quickly. And for the music. I have a few examples. Sorry, I made the presentation in the PDF in InDesign with interactive links, but the Acrobat doesn't support videos anymore. So I'm going just to open those examples from my desktop. So sorry for that. But I made it yesterday and I didn't know it's not supported anymore. So yes, here I have 3 examples. Yeah, as you can see, this is not supported. This, and this. Those three examples I want to show together because they are pretty much the same. This is a nice example for commercial use. For example, some color try-ons, something similar might work with some accessorized brands, such as jewelry or glasses. But of course, we have just lip color, which is really quick to develop. In case of accessorize, we need 3D models. So obviously, that will need a lot of more work, but of course it's possible. So yeah, here we have example of some lip color changing. This is Lady Gaga brand. All right, another example. This one is not official. This is fun project, but I think extremely creative. For now, I don't know how it's done, but maybe if we will have enough time, I will try to think about it and show you, but this is not a promise. I think that one is really great. And this one was made for Instagram for sure. So it's possible to do something like this. All right. Another example. Where is it? This is a really nice one. This is a 3D model in the space made for luxury brand Hermes for the last year's summer-spring collection. Really nicely done. Those two guys are mine. Made few weeks ago for upcoming spring-summer collection for Levi's. So I think that idea is also a nice example because in the pandemic time, when the events and press days for the press and influencers and stylists are not allowed because of the COVID, everybody can see the clothing samples in the digital way. This is also mine, made for Digital Cultures Conference. The video is not the best, but there were like 3D blobs which you can walk somewhere in between. This is really beautiful example. Actually, I didn't see the better developed filter. Everything is really smooth. The color fits perfectly together. And general ambience of that filter is really something. And for those who don't know, that guy is Polish rapper, and the AR filter we made for the latest album. So you can scan the code. and that AR on the album cover appears. All right, what's next? A very funny example. And this one is also not official fan work, scanning an object that reveals the AR is possible also. That might be a good idea for some brands to scan the logo or other kind of graphic design to reveal something more. All right. This was not made for Instagram. This was some other app. But this is also a nice example. It was made for an exhibition in a Museum of Modern Art in New York. Where is it? All right. What else? Oh, this one is fun. Definitely, way more filters are made for fun than for commercial purpose. Some of them are going viral, and those amount of filters with Bernie Sanders were developed in only one day. One day, that amount of filters with the Bernie Sanders. So that tool is really dynamic and quick. All right. But of course, a lot of filters can be designed in more artistic way. What I highly recommend, because I think someday that tool will be really high tech someday, and it's nice to keep eye on it, how it's improving the filters and how it's evolving. So I think that might be also used for very artistic works. Like every few weeks, the software have new actualizations, so the possibilities are really changing really quickly. This one is for TikTok, so I don't know how to do it, but I want to show it to you like a curiosity. And that one is kind of revolutionary because TikTok released their first filter this year on the iPhone 12 Pro using LiDAR technology. I don't know how to read that. I believe it's LiDAR, which allows to create effects that interacts with the environment. You will see how the confetti reacts to the environment. how it falls on the couch. The environment tracking is extremely detailed and realistic here, which is not possible to develop on Instagram and Facebook filters yet. But we will see what this year brings. I wanted to show you this one just a curiosity because, as I said many times before, this tool is still fresh and new, but definitely will be really powerful in the next years. So that one. Notice how the confetti falls here. It's really extremely realistic. So yeah, I think next month will be really intense in the IR. All right, a few words about the policies. This is the last topic I wanted to share with you. Because without this knowledge, our filters could contain not allowed objects, and we will only waste our time to develop something that is against those policies. Of course, there are a lot of conditions that need to be followed, but I wanted to share with you only a few. I think most important ones, because that is really needed to keep in mind while you will be working on some filters. If you break the rules, it is highly possible your filter won't be accepted and uploaded. So, for example, logos must be integrated into the scene of the effect. They must fall into one of the categories below, and logo responds to the movement through the use of face tracking, for example, on a piece of clothing, etc. Or the logo is integrated into a 3D object. And the same thing, exactly the same thing with the text. Text must be integrated into the scene of the effect. And for example, the text needs to respond to the movement through the use of the face tracking, piece of clothing, etc. Or the text must be integrated into a 3D object. That might be strange and hard to understand. Why the heck the static text is not allowed anymore in filters? But I think I understand the reason. The reason is that Instagram are going deeper to the AR, and they don't want to promote flat picture-like filters anymore. They want to improve that, so the 3D space filters and the interaction are most likely welcome in the IG servers. Probably that's why you see more game and kind of interactive filters on Instagram on last month. A few months ago, there were completely different trends on the filters. So this is really dynamic tool. What else? Oh, hi, this is me from yesterday. That kind of filters, this is what I'm talking about. That kind of filters are not allowed anymore. The static text is not acceptable. It should be linked to user movements, for example, to the head. For sure, you can find a lot of similar filters on the Instagram. But those are filters from the past, and it's not possible to make something like this anymore, or you will be lucky and somehow that will be accepted, but it's very possible that it won't. What else? Effect, this is obvious, must not contain photographs of people, real or fictional. This is important because maybe some of you or other people would like to make a filter with, I don't know, some kind of celebrity face, so forget about that. I don't know how about the Bernie Sanders filter were accepted. I don't know, maybe Facebook staff have a good sense of humor, I don't know, but normally it's not possible. All right. The demo videos must be captured live and saved directly from the Facebook or Instagram camera. For example, no screencast, no stock videos, no recording of images or other videos. This is about the video we can see next to the feed on the Instagram account. So this video must represent the real filter, not edited, not changed in any other way, just pure capture from the Instagram or Facebook camera. Content must not promote alcohol, tobacco, marijuana, or medical projects. The same thing, obviously, with sexuality, nudity, and violence, blood, and things like this. So that kind of stuff is strictly not possible to upload. But the one with alcohol is interesting on the other side, because alcohol and tobacco companies who have accounts on Instagram just can't have their own filters. So they just can't have anything like this. A little curiosity. So if any alcohol brand will ask you to develop a filter, you need to be aware that this will be a waste of time, because that filter won't be accepted by Instagram. And gambling, of course, the same thing. Intellectual property content must not infringe upon the intellectual property of Facebook incorporation. Branding elements of the Facebook family of apps. This one is obvious. I think you need to respect the intellectual property of other people and not copy or steal the work of other people, even if this is just for fun. And also a quick information about the technical requires, because you need to be aware that Instagram servers require very light, very simple projects. That's why some of filters look rough or the edges are very sharp or angular, because the compression on the Instagram is really big. And the effects needs to be really light and don't contain a lot of objects. So unfortunately, you won't upload here a work of your life. But I think this is enough to make something really nice. For example, you can't put more than 50 objects to a scene. The maximum resolution for the texture is 1024 24, so 4K it's not possible. Any textures you add to a project that are larger than this will be automatically resized, and the maximum weight of the project can't be bigger than 4 megabytes, so it's not a lot. And because 3D space on Instagram is still evolving, it's nice to keep in mind some of 3D requirements in the project. The maximum number of vertices per object should be below 20,000. The total triangle count per object it can affect should be 50,000. I'm not a 3D expert. I can do 3D, but I think this is a lot. I think it can be really realistic object. But I don't know, maybe you know better. Okay, I think that's all for this introduction. So maybe I will tell you my plans, what I wanted to do with you. So today I think we're gonna, I hope, finish one filter. I want to try 4 filters with you. First, the face filter with some retouch, the particle system that reacts for the eye blinking. The second one, I plan to do tomorrow, another more crazy filter with some color eyes and color hair and some changeable face tattoos or other kind of face drawings, up to you. The third one will be an object tracking in the environment. So that probably will be 3D text somewhere in the space with some additional elements. And the fourth one, something with the scanning, the graphic design that reveals some AR. I think we have enough time to finish this all. And at the end of the week, everyone will have at least 1 or 2 filters to upload. You can, of course, upload it to your private accounts.